Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little overview of our property here. This is the property itself. Basically, you can see that we've got about 3 acres that go that way. This is the house, very unique house. You can see we've got a little vertical garden there, vermicomposting garden in the middle. There's like a little. I'll show you in a second. But so this is kind of our nursery. We used to just use the cells, but found out that this was actually a better way to do it, more efficient. Just putting them in the trays, because we already have the trays inside here. We've got the trays in here that we use to grow our sprouts. You can see we've got our sprouts growing. We've got our wheatgrass, pea, where's the sunnies? Sunflowers, and then we've got some, this is mustard sprouts, and then fava is right here. I've grown fava as well. And there's the next generation right there, underweight, ready to go on the next. Yeah, it's not much there, but so anyway, we use the same trays as we do inside here to basically like grow our babies, and then we put them into pots out here. You can see those are a bunch of loopy butterfly and beans, that's our next level that's our next generation of plants. There's kind of like our intermediary stage, our adolescence right there. You can kind of see. And we have some right there as well. See, the house is on stilts. But yeah, and we've got about another, by the way, we've got about another acre that way. And then this acre here is where we have all of our fruits, and you can see fruits and vegetables and our food forest. So yes, here's our our vertical garden. We've got the composting tube in the middle there. We had to move it in the middle here because the raccoon was getting in the middle and taking all the food out. We're starting to we're starting to put new plants in here now, after we just got back from our vacation after a month and a half. Dry all our clothes outside, much better for us. And here's the back here, so you can see some of our dragon fruit right there. I'm going to take you to it in a second. You see our trellis, and then back there you can see that's where we do our composting. So let me take you downstairs. We've got a lot of aloe. We really like aloe, and we like flowering stuff as well. We're getting a whole new filtration system in. We have some pots down here as well, sort of juvenile stuff. So yeah, so this is, we're kind of cheating a little bit. We got about 5 yards of new soil here, because it does take a while, as you know, to grow soil. We got a strawberry tree here. We like flowering trees as well, or flowering bushes like this fire bush here. We get hummingbirds on this every morning almost. You'll see just scattered throughout. We use the syntropic strategy, or we're trying to, now that I've learned that, to surround the central tree, where in this case you'll see over here we've got a mango tree, and then I'm putting cassava around it. And then concentrically, what I'm trying to do, and you'll see there's stakes in the ground over here of starters for like Mexican sunflower, etc., in order to send that the pulse in the roots to the anchor tree from the outlier trees to the center of the bullseye, so to speak, which is that anchor tree in the bullseye. So once we cut this, I'll take this and I'll put these, the little starters, the sticks, and I'll put them around other trees to continue to build up that concentric circle of, typically the inside circle is cassava, the second layer of the circle is Mexican sunflower, and then the third is something like this right here, which is Mombasa, which we're just starting to get. I got this from a buddy in Loxahatchee. And we're putting, you know, this was just all sand here when we first got here. We put all this mulch down, you can see, and it really did a great job of growing the soil. And you can see we're benefiting from that. We're getting, now we're starting to get a lot more than just fruit. We're starting to get Seminole pumpkin in here because the soil is much richer. Also, you'll see we obviously pigeon pea everywhere. We just buy pigeon pea from the grocery store and then just sprinkle it in. Although, you know, it's technically it's not organic, but you know, that's the only thing that we did that way. Because you can just do it in such high volume. But anyway, these are peas. This is I believe this is a conch pea. Very resilient to Florida weather, and this is going to grow up this trellis very nicely. Even though that says a Pickering, it's not. Obviously, this is I believe that's a magnolia, the egg magnolia. We got a lot of varieties that are unique from a guy that's over in Sarasota, the Ylang Ylang nursery over there. And then we've got you know, amazing trees like this. That is this is not the custard apple. This is I forget what it is. We forgot, but it's in that family. I'm really looking forward to it. We are getting some, you know, some amazing flowers on this now, which is great. And it's all because I really started spending time, and you'll see I've got the syntropic strategy going here with the cassava starters here, you know, that are concentric around this, where I've added in some really good mulch that I'll show you in a second here, that's back here, in order to amend the soil around here, because it's very sandy. That's the standard soil right there. Sandy soil. So we've taken all of our scraps, all of our leftovers of our trays from up in the house, and we take them and we put them in the compost bin here. We've got a vermiculture bin here as well. This is for vermiculture for the worms, and I can show you that, but it's doing pretty well. And then there's the you know, beautiful roots that really create the best soil possible because of the exudates, you know, from the roots there. And then I haven't done it yet, but I wanted to show you that's why I didn't do it yet, is I wanted to show you the actual leftover sprout mats that I just showed you there. So I'm going to take some of this mulch and put it on top, and then that's obviously going to turn into this, which, you know, this actually had one of these on the side, but I took it off because I'm starting to use this and spread it out because that soil's ready now. And we've got, you know, we've got citrus here. I put the citrus underneath the pines and the oaks because we're going to cut this oak back, and that's going to send a nice pulse to this tree. We do have some ayahuasca, mother ayahuasca vine here, which is awesome. Really powerful energy, as you know. And then jaboticaba, obviously mango, banana tree back there. Just planted another sucker banana tree here, sword sucker, and also planted some back here. Just trying to expand the usage of this property. Planted one right there, planted one right there, planted one, and I'm putting these here, these trees here to protect these juvenile banana trees because they can get burnt pretty easily. You'll notice that I kind of hid them back there because they were starting to get burnt, and now they're going great. But these are like, you know, shading them, which is, you know, really working well. So this is just the back part of the property. This is like, you know, 1/10 of our overall property here. I think I showed you the guava tree. Obviously banana. I think this is Barbados cherry. I was getting confused. I believe that's a shampoo ginger. Ginger. We got some black ginger. That is a, not sapodilla, soursop. And this is my favorite, custard apple. Growing well. We're gonna plant that. I've got 5 other custard apples here, which is great. This is protecting the banana there. Mulberries all over the place. Another strawberry tree. And yeah, here's all our juveniles that I was telling you about. You can see just a bunch of stuff mixed in here. Growing some tobacco even. Got some tobacco growing here, which is great. Got some bugs in there, but we'll probably treat that organically with something. Tomatoes, Mame sapote right there. You can see the tall one. Lettuce. This is a cinnamon tree. White sapote right here. Ginger. What else we got? Abiyu. There's some abiyu in here. Oh, these are sapodilla that I grew from seed. And this is where everything, you know, there's 4 rows. Here's a beautiful red banana. I love red banana. Got a lot of papayas back there. You can't see. There's another cherry tree right there. Another huge. This is kind of cool. So that's ayahuasca vine right there, and then back there is passion fruit. All back there. There's actually a trellis back there. So just going back over here, another banana that I planted here, another strawberry tree. Ooh, grab some of those. Wow. And you see I cut all this down so that you can very easily walk back here and get access to these trees. This is an M4, I believe, mango, papaya. Eventually we'll trim some of these oaks to send a pulse to these trees. We've been told that these mangoes really like growing next to these oaks, and they do seem to be doing really well. So I don't know if you can see, but these are actually these are rows that were here before. This is the swale here. It gets a little bit wetter. That's why you see all the ferns. And then it goes right back up here to form another row. And we've got 5 rows like this going all the way to the street that go all the way about 50 yards that way. So each row is about 50 yards and contains anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 main anchor trees that were centropically, putting other, following the system that I told you, where we're putting the yucca around it, etc. Here's a nice sapodilla, and here's another row. So this is another row here. There's another row there. There's another one that this I just came from over there. Here's a mulberry tree, and I did an air graft there with this tool that's pretty cool. It actually does a pretty good job because it stresses the tree a little bit and it causes it to produce more mulberries, which is pretty cool. We got some papaya out here that are starting to produce. Very green right now because it's the rainy season. And then there's another row right here, another one here. You'll see all types of stuff out here. Here's our custard apple that we bought large. That was a larger tree, and it's been just an amazing tree. If I knew how good this tree was gonna be, I would have bought 8 of them. Ice cream bean. There's an abiyu back here. You can kind of see right there, there's an abiyu. Just all kinds of stuff. Our bananas are really towards the street to kind of create protection and create some privacy. So yeah, you can see how far it goes there. There's the road. So you can see that, you can imagine how many more rows there are. There's 3 more rows here. And I do have a water system all along throughout all these rows. And I am gonna, I am gonna create paths here, just like I did in that first. I finally just got a weed whacker with a metal attachment, a bush cutter, and I'm gonna take care of all of these. You know, because you know you've got like here, you got Emperor, what's it called, lychee, that's doing pretty well, but it could do better. I'm gonna get a nice pulse when I cut this back for this lychee here. And same with like when I cut this oak tree, it's gonna really send a pulse based on how high it is. That's how far it's gonna send that pulse out. There's another lychee right there. And then I got another one back here. I got an Aki tree back here that you can kind of see. There's an Aki tree right there. It just, you know, it's hard to tell because there's so much, you know, there's so many weeds here, but I'm okay with that because again, it's the syntropic strategy. I'm gonna pulse, you know, the trees around my anchor trees when I do the cutting, you know, with the you know, with the bushwhacker, and that's going to create a really nice syntropic pulse to the to all the trees that we have. So anyway, just want to give you an insight on what we got here, and yeah, that's it. Thanks. Let me know if you got any questions.